Okay, so now I'm going to model how to write the analysis paragraph for the qualitative spelling inventory for the version that Jake did. So first, the first kind of request in the rubric is that you report the data accurately and that your writing indicates a robust, nuanced understanding of the purposes and results of all assessments. So you're going to explain what assessment Jake completed. So think about that for yourself, for your student. Um, what is the purpose of the assessment? So we know this has something to do with spelling, but there's more to it, right? Like, what can we learn about what he knows about letters or sounds, etc.? And then we're going to report the results. So I'm going to show you an example of what that might look like. Jake completed the elementary qualitative spelling inventory, which assessed his knowledge and use of letter-sound correspondences and spelling patterns. Jake correctly spelled 9 of 25 possible words, so asset-based. I didn't say he missed 16, but also demonstrated his ability to spell parts of words by earning 43 feature points. And I'm going to elaborate on that in a moment here. So that's the first little chunk. I've explained what it was, what the purpose was, and kind of in a nutshell, what his performance was from an assets perspective. Now I'm going to situate the assessments results on a specific developmental progression, and I'm going to make explicit, accurate, and insightful connections to course readings and content. So I might think about, or I should think about, what do the results tell us about what Jake knows and what he can do related to the purpose of the assessment? How does this facet of literacy typically develop? What are the phases and typical timeline? And where does Jake's performance on the assessment land on this progression? So I think I'll show you what I wrote here, and then I'm going to show you a resource that will be in the slides for you. Okay, so here's what he was able to do. Jake was able to accurately spell initial consonants, final consonants, and short vowels in CVC words like bed and ship. He has control of most common long vowel spellings like OA and vowel consonant E, as well as R-controlled vowels like AR, IR, and UR. These assets place Jake at the within word pattern phase of orthographic development, which typically is achieved by students between grade 1 and 4. And to help you with that, I've got here, okay, that's kind of a summary. Here I've got some slides that elaborate on these phases. So if your student's in the emergent stage, this shows you characteristics, appropriate reading and writing activities, and what you might focus on. And here's letter name alphabetic. Here's later letter name alphabetic. Here's the within word pattern. Okay, so I can be informed by this information as I think about his progression and also the implications, what's next. Here's syllable and affixes and derivational relations. Okay, so I'm going to go back to that paragraph. Okay, so he's on this within word pattern phase of development. And for the implications, I want to say what I should do next, right? I should say what I should teach and connect that to what we've been learning. What should we do next based specifically on the results of this assessment? How would those moves help him progress further in this area? So one way to answer that is our next instructional steps related to developing Jake's orthographic knowledge will be to review less common long vowel spellings. So that's kind of going back and just tidying up those holes through word sorting activities. You might have other activities too. And then to study diphthongs, vowel digraphs that represent one vowel sound sliding into another, such as oi and ew, through explicit modeling, guided practice, and extended practice, along with review of phonemic awareness skills to ensure that Jake has control of advanced phonemic awareness skills he will need for orthographic mapping. And that's from a Kilpatrick piece. Actually, he speaks about that in the piece you read, I think. But we'll get into another piece of his that speaks to that. After that, we will explore consonant doubling and inflected endings. So, if you want to flex for the exceeds, I'd love to see you actually citing some of the readings. I think when I wrote this last year, we had already read the Archer and Hughes. So, do your best with what you've got so far. But that's kind of the big idea. So I want you to take some time to score your own assessment and then use this model to help you write your paragraph and then self-assess. You can look back at all the items that you've written so far, the analysis items, and see where you think that you're landing and where you might want to improve. Okay, I hope this is helpful. And yeah, enjoy it. It's really fun to see inside their